Column chromatography. Chromatography is the separation of a mixture of compounds into its individual components based on their relative interactions with an inert matrix. However, chromatography is more than a simple technique, it is an important part of science encompassing chemistry, physical chemistry, chemical engineering, biochemistry, and cutting through different fields. It is worth to be mentioned here that the IUPAC definition of chromatography is separation of sample components after their distribution between two phases. A Russian botanist Svet discovered chromatography in 1901 during his research on plant pigments. He discovered that he could separate colored leaf pigments by passing a solution through a column packed with adsorbent particles. He named the new method chromatography, set emphasized later that colorless substance can also be separated using the same principle. Chromatography is widely used in the chemical analysis of complex mixtures. Chromatography is not only a separation technique, in most versions, it is hyphenated analytical techniques combining the separation with the identification and quantitative determination of the separated compound. Column chromatography principle. The concept behind column chromatography is adsorption. In the mobile phase, a mixture of components is dissolved and introduced into the column, and the components move depending upon their relative accordance. The component having lower adsorption and affinity to the stationary phase travels faster than the component with greater absorption with the stationary phase. The components that move fast are removed first, and the components that move slowly are last longer in the process. Instrumentation of column chromatography. A typical column chromatographic system using a gas or liquid mobile phase consists of the following components: a stationary phase, chosen to be appropriate for the analytes to be separated. A column. In liquid chromatography, these are generally 25 to 50 cm long and 4 mm internal diameter made of stainless steel. A mobile phase and delivery system, chosen to complement the stationary phase and hence to discriminate between the sample analytes and to deliver a constant rate of flow into the column. An injector system, to deliver test samples to the top of the column in a reproducible manner. A detector and chart recorder, to give a continuous record of the presence of analytes in the elevate as it emerges from the column. Working. With the assist of solvent, the stationary phase is made wet as it is upper level of the mobile phase, and stationary phase should match it. The mobile phase is either solvent or a combination of solvent. Initially, the component mixture is added from the top of the column needs to be separated without disturbing the top level. The adsorption process on the surface of silica begins as soon as the tap is turned on. Solvent mixture is added slowly throughout the process as per the requirement by touching the sides of the without disturbing the stationary phase. To initialize the movement of the compound in the mixture, the tap needs to be turned on. The movement is totally based on the polarity of the molecules. The non-polar components move at a greater speed as compared to the polar components. Column chromatography applications: separating compound mixtures, determining drug estimation from drug formulations, remove impurities, isolation of metabolites from biological fluids. Advantages. It helps in the separation of any mixture and impurities from any kind of mixture. Any variety and quantity separation are possible. Varieties of solvent can be used in the process of separation. The process can be automated and it is less expensive. Disadvantages. Time consuming, only a large quantity can be used for separation. Column chromatography is expensive as compared to the thin paper column chromatography process. It's a long process, so need attention and focus are